Shalom Israel. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who rule and teach well. To the Akims and the Iwas and Byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity. To the brothers and sisters in the truth. I just want to play a little bit of this video that I came across, and there's something that they said in there which I want to pull up, which a lot of people don't seem to realize when we're under this state of emergency or national emergency, as some may call it. So I'm going to play this video and then bring out the point. It says, police find churchgoers at a drive-in service ahead of Easter.
Well, this weekend is Easter, but for the first time in America's history, the country's Christians will not be able to celebrate it with one another, even if they want to. Most governments in this country will not allow them to gather in churches. Mississippi is under lockdown. All essential, non-essential businesses are closed. That means liquor stores, of course, are still open. They're essential. Churches are not essential, according to the state. King James Bible Baptist Church has been trying to hold drive-in services. That means parishioners remain in their cars during it, but cops showed up anyway and raided it.
King James Bible Baptist Church, where Pastor Hamilton, where I'm the pastor of the church at. I'm a good citizen. Ain't breaking no law, ain't selling no drugs. I'm just preaching the word of God. And look at all these police cars here.
That was Pastor James Hamilton you heard on the tape. We're happy to have him on with us tonight, along with Kelly Shackelford, president of the First Liberty Institute. Thanks so much for coming on, both of you. First to you, Pastor, what exactly were you doing wrong?
We wasn't doing anything wrong. We was abiding by the CDC guidelines that the city of Greenville had put in place, also the state of Mississippi. Our members of the church was inside their cars, had the windows up, and I was preaching the word of God. So no one was outside, and also we had cars at a distance, and so legally we wasn't doing anything wrong. We was going by the CDC guidelines. And so I don't understand why the police officer would come to our church and try to break it up.
Well, it's totally outrageous. Kelly Shackelford, I assume that when this happened, every civil rights group in America jumped to the pastor's defense, right?
I don't know about that. We certainly did. The order that's in Greenville is just massively unconstitutional. It targets churches in a way that it targets no other group. So cars in parking lots are fine. It's only a crime if the cars in the parking lot are at the church parking lot. And, I mean, look at last night. You had probably 6, 7 or so cars there for the church, and yet they were surrounded by police. And I don't know if you saw the video, Tucker, but one of the police officers came up to Pastor Hamilton and said that because of these orders, because of that local order in Greenville, Mississippi, that his rights were suspended. Those are the specific words he used. Like, your constitutional rights are gone now. Well, I don't know what country he thinks he's living in, but your rights aren't suspended. And I would just tell any church that has any of these issues or whatever, we have a lot of this information. Go to firstliberty.org, just spell out First Liberty. It'll tell you that you do have rights, that we want to follow the CDC guidelines. We don't want people to be injured in any way. And
Now, he said that the police told him that his rights are suspended, and the guy is saying, your rights ain't suspended, you got constitutional rights, etc. Now, I brought this out before, and I'm bringing it out again, because a lot of people don't seem to understand what it means when they actually bring in a state of emergency or national emergency. So, it's a state of emergency. A state of emergency is a situation in which a government is empowered to perform actions or impose policies that it would not normally be permitted to undertake. So he was talking about constitutional rights. You're going to find out that under a state of emergency, those rights goes out the window. A government can declare such a state during a natural disaster, civil unrest, armed conflict, medical pandemic or epidemic, and this is what this is. This coronavirus thing is a medical, you'll be deemed a medical pandemic or something of that sort. A pandemic anyway, that's the point. It says medical pandemic or epidemic or other biosecurity risk. Such declarations alert citizens to change their normal behavior and orders government agencies to implement emergency plans. So like the behavior which these citizens have to now get accustomed to is staying in their yard unless they're going out for something specific. So lucky as well, hold on. Keep forgetting to do that. Yeah, now this is the point, because he says the police told him that his rights are suspended and he's trying to deny that, that's that Edomite privilege situation he believes he has. Now, this is the point. States of emergency. Let me read this bit here before I go. It says, such declarations alert citizens to change their normal behavior and orders government agencies to implement emergency plans. Justitium is its equivalent in Roman law, a concept in which the Senate could put forward a final decree that was not subject to dispute. Yeah, states of emergency can also be used as a rationale or pretext for what? Suspending rights and freedoms. So when the policeman told him your rights are suspended because there's a state of emergency out, that suspends your rights, your constitutional rights and all of this other rights you think you have, you ain't got no more. It says guaranteed under, it says state of emergency can also be used as a rationale or pretext for suspending rights and freedoms guaranteed under a country's constitution. Yeah, so when this guy is talking about constitutional law, that don't play no part anymore. That's out the window. Or basic law. Sometimes through martial law or revoking habeas corpus. The procedure for and legality of doing this so vary by country. So, like most countries have put in a state of emergency or a national emergency, some people call it national emergency. Under that, which I've mentioned before, they can take away your rights and your freedoms. So there's no such thing as a constitutional right under a state of emergency. So with that, I'm going to close out. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, Kwam Yasha Allah.